Okay, so good morning, everyone. I know everybody's excited for today's webinar. So we welcome you to the webinar initiated by the DICT Cam Norte entitled Playing Infinite Games, Designing the Modern Day Gamified Classroom. On this day of August 31, 2023, from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. So, we are also streaming live to Facebook official page ng DICT Region 5 Cam Norte. So, please do check and follow yung Facebook page namin sa Facebook. Yan. So, good morning sa 82 participants natin. And please do change your name po. It's last name underscore first name and then underscore your affiliation para at least mabilis namin kayong ma-acknowledge. Sir, pa-type na lang ko tong itong first name underscore. Yan. So, pa-change name na lang po. Pa-change name para at least mabilis namin kayo ma-acknowledge. Yan, wait lang po. May Okay, to formally start, may I request for your moment of silence for our opening prayer and to be followed by the Philippine National Anthem.
Father in heaven, we thank you for always promising to be with us. Thank you for the opportunity you have given us to gather for a learning conversation. Today, we lift our hearts and minds to you. Speak your words of life into our beings. We pray you will deepen our comprehension, broaden our thinking, and transform our understanding of what we will learn today. You are our wise counselor, perfect teacher, and faithful friend. Guide us, help us that we may apply our learnings for your greater glory. Amen. Father in heaven,
mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiliw, telas ng sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagatak puso, sa simoy at sa langit mong pagaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagtitindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pang ay di magtitindig. Lumalang araw ng walhagit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya na pagkay mga aking, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Ayan, so before we start sa ating main event, let me Okay, so yan, before we start sa ating main event, let me introduce myself. I'm Engineer Gregorio Alan O. Bacordo. You can call me Greg. I'm the Engineer 1 of the DICT Cam Norte, and I will be your host for today's session. And also with me are my technical staff members, sila Sir Al, Joy Sancho, and Sir Robbie. They will be the one to address all your concerns posted on the chat box and comment section. So, sila yung magiging natin sa mga comment sections and then also through the Facebook comments. Ayan. So, Before that, I will give you the guidelines and reminders ng ating webinar para maganda and smooth ang flow ng ating activity. Okay, first is, yun po, is rename your Zoom display name, last name, underscore, first name, underscore affiliation. So, yan. So, pa-follow na lang po yung mga ano natin. Currently, chine-check ko po yung names nyo. Wala pa pong nag-change ng display name. So, yan. Pa-follow na lang po yung sa display name natin. It's last name underscore first name and underscore your affiliation. Affiliation if you're from the school, from a government agency, and then sa if MSMEs, yan. So at least para ma-acknowledge din namin kung anong school nyo and anong agencies nyo. So ayan, ano na lang po mga ma'am sirs. And then next, keep your microphone on mute at all times to avoid distraction din sa ating speakers and to other attendees. Ask questions in the question and answer box. Interact with us through the comment sections. Okay na ba yung ano natin, comment section? Nakakapag-chat na po ba kayo? Naka-disable din yung pag ano, change name. Okay, so later po i-check namin yung sa pag-change name. Sir Aljoy, pa-check daw kung ano. Pa-check. Yan. Next is, this webinar is recorded for documentation purposes and will be posted on YouTube or Facebook. And I'm also taking this opportunity that you are giving your consent and aware that this is recorded for document purposes. Also, observe etiquette and have a bottle or glass of water with you to hydrate every now and then. So, yan. So, sa mga nagbe-breakfast dyan, ano po, happy breakfast sa inyo. Sa mga nagko-coffee, okay lang din. As long as nakaano tayo dito sa webinar. Okay, for the webinar certificate requirements. So, ito yung mga hinihintay natin, yung mga certificates. So, to get the certificates, we need to accomplish the attendance form and webinar evaluation form. So, for the attendance form, guys, you need to accomplish this before 12 noon. Bale, posted naman siya sa ating chat, yung link for the attendance. And then, ipo-post siya ni Sir Aljoy, yung attendance form natin. And then, for the for the evaluation form, you need to accomplish this before 1 p.m. So, bale, yung mga forms will close at exactly 12 noon and 1 p.m. So, please do accomplish these forms po on time. Yan, so good morning po from sa ating participants from Ateneo, from South Cotabato. Good morning po sa inyo. Ayan, posted na po yung attendance form natin. Good morning from the Bug Bites Tech from Cam Norte. Good morning po. Oh, from UNC. Good morning po. Good morning. Ayan, so also note that the certificate will be sent to your registered email address no more than 3 days after the webinar. And then also another note is to all input valid and active email when filling out those forms. So yung yung active and valid nyo pong mga email address. Evaluation forms din po pala will be posted 30 minutes before we end the webinar. Ayan, so I will give you a brief background for our introduction for today's webinar. So I'm honored to introduce to you today our resource speaker, Jonathan D.L. Casaño, or Nathan as we fondly call him. Sir Nathan is the founder of Pixel Zero Digital Solutions, a web meant company that focuses on crafting technology-powered solutions for businesses to address challenges in the digital space. He is also currently engaged in productive work with Penn Center for Learning Analytics, RPPL, Research Infrastructure for Professional Development as a computer programmer, while also serving as a part-time faculty member at the Department of Information Systems and Computer Science, or the DISCS, from Ateneo de Manila University and College of Computer Studies Graduates Program of Ateneo de Naga University. His research practice revolves around embodied cognition, gamification, and game-based learning. Over the years, he has co-authored various research that were published in peer-reviewed and stringently reviewed research publication venues such as the International Conference on Computers in Education, or the ICCE, Artificial Intelligence in Education, or the AIED, and the International Conference on Human Computer Interaction, or the HCCI. Sir Nathan graduated cum laude with a degree of Bachelor of Science in Information Technology at Ateneo de Naga University in 2012 and secured his Master's in Computer Science degree at Ateneo de Manila University last 2016. Okay, so let's welcome and give our virtual applause on the chat box to our esteemed speaker, Mr. Jonathan Casano. Hello, sir. Good morning po.
Good morning, Engineer Greg. Thank you. I shall be sharing my screen. Yes, share screen. Screen 1. There. Is that good? Or okay. Sige. Hey, please just all right. So I'm looking. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. I'm looking at the side because the Zoom room is here in my extended monitor. So whenever I'm looking to the side. Hello? Sorry. Audio is okay? Okay. Right. Thank you.
Wait lang.
I was saying that whenever I'm looking at the side, I'm actually looking at your chats if there are any. So please don't think me rude. I'm just really trying to get a sense of the audience when I'm looking at the side. Good morning, everyone, and good morning to the organizers as well. Thank you again for this opportunity to be able to share with you things that we are working on in the gamification space. And really, to tell you honestly, this was a result of Jen and myself posting a certain product that we created that is just really solving one of our problems. So apologies in advance for the business guys in the room. I know that it's staple I know that the staple mindset in business is to uh scout the need of many people and then solve it. But for this particular instance, it's really just Jen and I solving the problems that we have. Um, so I think I can proceed. All right. So this talk is entitled "Playing Infinite Games: Designing the Modern Gamified Classroom," and the outline of my talk presentation for today is as follows. I tried to categorize it into three main chunks. Essentially, what have we seen, or the part where I talk about a little bit of history of gamification, and I found it fit to just give you where this term was mentioned first in the in history, in human time, and the question that the author gave us that started it all practically. And then after that, after situating the concept in history, then we delve into the collection of gamification examples that I have curated for us. I've curated it in a way that tries to minimize the hype around gamification and tries to highlight the overarching applications into different fields. I hope that will be of value to you. And I end that section with the rise of infinite games and the infinite games mentality, as opposed to what we currently observe both in schools and some teams that we manage in our work, and as well as the meaningful gamification framework. And then that's section one. And then we dive to what do we know technically? What's the science behind? I tell you something about something called, or I present to you something called function-centered design, uh, vis-a-vis human-centered design. And these, I don't want to end with a recommendation. I just want you to know that these design frameworks are there. Some merits and pitfalls of gamification in education and training, and then example gamification frameworks and tools. Um, when I was drafting this presentation, I gave three, but we decided to cut out yung ikalawa muna because it requires a lot of sciencey explanations, which I think will not be beneficial to the audience that's here right now. Sorry, Engineer Greg, I just received a message na blurred daw yung broadcast. So perhaps the logistics team can check on that. Thank you. And then I end with what do we do now? Sorry, broadcast sa FB. Thank you. What do we do now? I end with some ideas for the modern gamified classroom and example research ideas that qualify as extending the state of the art. Para naman the teachers among us and the researchers among the audience can have an actionable step. Okay, napanood ko na to. So ano na yung pwede kong gawin? What can I do or craft as a research endeavor after this talk? And of course, for those who are still interested, we do a demo of widget 1 and a walkthrough. We invite some of you to join our Discord rooms and test it out for yourselves. All right, that's the outline. What have you seen? Um, well, I want to situate the talk and say that gamification started before scientific literature even began. And what I mean by that is essentially, uh, if you cut away all the science, we instinctively know that this instinct to gamify is there. For instance, when a group of hunters would make hunting fun and say whoever kills more game can actually have a prize. The prize doesn't matter. The prize could be useless, but still we want a prize. The prize will not enhance their life in any way, but it's just nice to have a prize by killing more game than my uh but rather compared to my compared to my tribe member who is also in the same domain of trying to hunt for food. And the author, Charles Conrad, even argues that elementary forms of diaries are a way of keeping score. So it's actually our elementary forms of gamification. I keep score today. What did I do? What can I do better? That's essentially diary, right? And then tomorrow comes, I keep score again, and then I can compare. How did I do today compared to how I did yesterday? When this book was published, the author gave a question or posited this question that asked why exactly, and I also invite you to like think about the question as well. We all have jobs. To the students among us, then perhaps your line of study is your job. But why exactly do people pay literal money for the chance to work harder at a recreational something? Billiards, bowling, esports, when they could just use their energy at a job that literally pays them. Di ba weird? Kasi why would I pay for a chance to do something that will not um, secure for me resources, but it's an innate need, and whenever you pursue that, you feel good. And Charles said, so I'll save you the trouble of reading the whole book. Charles said there are 5 reasons why hobbies are really greater than work, at least our perception of it. And those 5 things are the following. The goals are clearly defined. There are no mushroom tasks that will pop up anytime I complete a goal. When I complete a level, the level is complete. Better scorekeeping and scorecards. The scorekeeping ideals never change. They can be enhanced, but once enhanced, they are kept forever. Everyone respects the new scorekeeping mechanics, and everyone is assessed based on the scorekeeping mechanics. So there's a level of control that it affords us. More frequent feedback in games. Say, for instance, you're playing billiards, you try to hit the ball, it either goes in or goes out. Uh, the feedback is clear. You didn't make it or you made it. Not like work, where every time I submit something, it's open to revisions. And I don't really know how many revision rounds there is pa. It messes with your head. Higher degree of personal choice of method. So I can do this same task in 7 different ways. For those of you who are into martial arts, this is kind of like the the appeal of martial arts, that I can subdue my enemy in several ways, and I need to train in order for me to know how exactly to do that, so that if a particular scenario comes up, I can have choices 4, 5, 6 to apply to you, and I win. Not with work though. There are formulas, calculations, rules, and guidelines that you need to follow. Consistent coaching is something that you also observe. Find a team, find some friends, get a hobby, and then the